That's handy. Yeah, I mean, low stakes. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. Oh. No, I mean that's just how it works. Oh, I didn't even hear a ping. Ah, what did you ping me in? Oh, I see where you pinged me. I understand. Yes. It's all good. It's all good. It's fine. We're not professional streamers. We don't know what we're doing. I don't know. Where is your mouse? That's unfortunate. Mm. Okay. Okay. Are you talking? I can't hear you. Oh, yeah, now you're working. Mm-hmm. How do you handle music going through your streams? Like, how do you get it to play without you having to listen to it? Mm. Well, because sometimes like I tend to listen to YouTube videos when I draw, and I don't want the audio from the YouTube videos coming through, but I do want, music to play on the streams. Oh, okay. Hello. I am saying things. Mm. Okay. Well, I'll play with that at another time when I'm not focused. Okay. You're, you're gonna have to be more descriptive than that. There's so many pages. There's so many old panels. What do you, where you're not, do I open your stream too? Where's the link to your stream? Okay. Okay, well now I gotta mute you here so that I'm not listening to us have the same conversation twice. Okay, now I can see your stream. Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, because like in the new version, he gets stopped by the gate. Yeah, yeah. I don't think that it works as well. Yeah, I don't think it conveys the information as well. I think the other one conveys the information better. Um, yeah, because looking back this direction, it's like the action is happening behind the camera in that other shot, and it's like no, it makes more sense for what's happening to be in front of the camera. Yeah, yeah. Did we ever know what we were doing? I can leave it pretty loose. Okay, maybe not that loose. I need to at least be able to tell who's supposed to be who. Although I could just ask you. Yeah. Like yeah, I mean most important things are like the faces obviously. Like the faces should read pretty clean, 'cause like that's um like one of the things that's the most distinct about your style is the expressions and the faces and everything like that. So the more I can just ink that and not or draw over it or whatever and not try to interpret it, the better. Because I'm still a coward when it comes to yeah, I'm still a coward when it comes to like really cartoony faces. So no, I know. Yeah. Oh, we'll get there. No, you've definitely tried worse. Hmm. Yeah, well, I think you have it set up as safe drawing area, trim line, and then bleed, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we at least try to pretend that we are professionals and know what we're doing. Yeah, so printers can't physically print color all the way to the edge of a page. You might have noticed that, like if you've ever used a printer and you try to print, like an image all the way to the edge, it still leaves a white outline. So any of your books that have color that goes all the way to the edge, they actually printed that on a bigger piece of paper that would have had some extra artwork around the edges that could then get safely cut off, to make sure that you didn't have like, yeah, if something was slightly skewed sideways, or like you don't want to have like white showing up uh where you want color to go all the way to the edge. So you just make sure there's extra color that goes over, and then you trim it down to the actual size of the page that the final product would be at. Yeah. Yeah. So every single print product that exists anywhere would have been printed on something bigger, have had a white border, and then had that border cut off because printers just don't print to the edge of whatever media they're printing on. And part of the reason for that is like with how the fibers in paper, is like if you like printed on fibers that were cut, then your color is going to do wacky things at the very edge. So that's why they don't like print all the way to the edge. She doesn't need hips. Well, shoes are definitely easier to draw than feet, but they don't make you as much money. uh yeah, I think so. especially in the face area. Um, the stick figures in the back might be a little, well, they're gonna be pretty small anyway, yeah, so it's not as bad. Okay. I just need to be able to tell what character they're supposed to be. And make sure that like the stick figures convey the pose that they're supposed to have. Yeah, 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 yeah. The that one? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's fine. Just as long as, like the most important things are the clearest. And like we'll have to get back into the swing of things. Like it's gonna take us a little bit of time to get back uh into yeah, 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 yeah. So the first couple pages back are probably gonna be a little wonky, but that's okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that helps make it be be looser, yeah, rather than getting back into starting with like the most intense pages that have the most detail, and it's like, no, 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 we're gonna do the comedy pages. Probably. Yeah, so I'm gonna pull up on my screen um uh the stuff that I was doing for like the armor studies I was doing for Alenstra. Because that might give you some ideas as far as like options, as far as like different factions of your military and like how to differentiate them without making them not be like cohesive. I just need to figure out where that file is. I just have to find the file. I need to clean up this because I have a bunch of stuff that's not organized in the way that is conducive to being helpful. I would hope it's in this file that is labeled as Alenstria art, because that would make a lot of sense. Oh, it is. Look at that. I am so prepared. Okay, cool. Um, so obviously, because I'm obsessed with Menengar, I did all of the Menengar ones. Um, so everything's a little dark. Hold on. Let me put another, because of course I did this on the old monitor. Oh, this is gonna be yeah, yeah. No, I did this on that old monitor, which I had cranked the light up all the way up, and that's why my colors were always off. And I didn't realize that until I compared it with the there, that should brighten it up. They're probably too bright now, but the whole point is to not necessarily yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So how I approached it is that you're gonna have, like your people on the ground who are um like infantry type are probably going to be or are going to be like inside the city and stationed like at at guard posts are probably going to be like the most heavily armored because they're not expected to like move as much. And I just realized that that is totally like not what infantry does, so ignore that first part. Um, but like your most heavily armored decorated guards aren't gonna be doing much. They're gonna be standing there. They are a piece. They are delivering a message. Unless they're on mounts because they are armor's fucking heavy. So the more that they have to move, the less armor that they have to have, or the lighter armor that they need to have. So like the Menengar, so like let's focus on these ones over here because these are actually like military outfits. Um, yeah, I am. It's delayed a little bit, and I can't get it to. There we go. Um, so the civil guard are in like quite like medium to like half plate type armor. But they also have like something that's very visible that like from a distance people would be able to tell that they're guards, you know? Because the whole point of having your city guard is, to remind people like, hey, if you have a problem, you can find me easy, or hey, if you're planning on doing something dumb, don't, because I'm right here, right? Um, so that's why I gave them like a bright red half cloak because it doesn't get in the way and it's not for protection. It is just a signifier of like, hey, we here. Whether you need us to help or you're planning on doing something dumb. Um, and then for the silver bows, they're actually supposed to be in like leather armor and way lighter because of and have longer cloaks because they're doing more skulky stuff, right? Um, so they're more movement based, so they can't have their movement as restricted. They need to travel lighter because they're out in the field running around doing stuff. Um, and then the Imperial soldiers, like they're heavily armored because like they represent the country. um, and try to make them like look more intimidating. And then I kind of, because some of these, the two, this brown one, that kind of looks like kind of Air Forcey, is actually like a rifleman's one. So they have like goggles and they've got like protection for their face that isn't necessarily a helmet, so they can still like see around them and everything like that. But in case there are sparks or anything, like they do have some protection. Um, and like because they're gonna be at a distance, they don't have as much armor, but they still have like armor that protects like their core and vitals just in case they get, like shot with an arrow or whatever. Uh And then I think I made the Air Force like the airship force armor. Oh yeah, that's this one. It's kind of a variation, like it's somewhere in between the Civil Guard and the rifleman's armor, so it's just a bit lighter again because like if you're running around an airship, you definitely don't want to be like slowed down if you have to go from one side to the other. And then there's like some more like officials like they're part of military sects, but they're not necessarily on the field fighting. So like these are more like official uniforms. Uh, if we go over to so like these ones are Idella ones. I didn't finish them all, but like the Navy officers, like they don't wear any heavy armor because if they get knocked overboard, they need to be able to swim. Wyvern riders wear a little bit more armor, but not much on the legs because they need to have their legs like really flexible in order to like jump from side to side. Uh, and then the ground armed forces are more armored, but are like a variant of the Wyvern rider ones. The Hanan Tidal Guard is designed weird like this because it's mostly made up of like Tritons, and so they have like fins on their arms, so they can't have anything covering that. Uh, and then like Bryce, like you can see like Amstrad, like their National Guard is pretty well armored, but like the Civil Guard that you guys would have been encountering in the campaign wouldn't have been like as presentery heavily armored. But you guys did run into some Solar Knights who were like full plate, full plate. Because again, they're like in town, stationed at important buildings, there to look menacing and keep people from doing stupid things. Yeah, so those are, yeah. The overlay's a little intense. No, we're work on it's a collaborative thing. And at the end of the day, if I don't like what you drew, I'll just draw something else. uh, but like I know we've had several conversations and explorations of like what the armor is gonna look like for the centaurs, because of course barded armor is a completely different story, right? Yeah. Like where I think that the centaurs would have to be like a little bit more um they might actually like have a little bit less armor around the torso, which sounds counterintuitive, but if you think about, like them needing to be able to like have more flexibility and reach, like they can't have armor making their core too rigid because then they're just going to have a hard time like ducking under things or like bending around corners and stuff like that. Yeah, so they need some flex. We have, and it's stupid missed. There a lot of historical like horse armor was very much for presentation only and not function. It looks so awful. Yeah. And you can't it's really hard to like armor a horse's legs because like if you mess with their mobility at all then they're useless. Like the whole point is they're supposed to get you across the field. If they can't do that, then what's the point of being mounted, right? um I think they would be more armored just for show and the fact that they probably aren't going to be doing as much running around. Versus like the city guard would have to like like if they caught someone doing something and that person ran, like they would have to chase after them, right? Um, yeah, versus like at a castle, you're usually defensive, like you are stationed and you are there for defense. You're not chasing after people. And or you're just again there for show. You're making a statement like, "Hey, this is a restricted area. You can't come in here." I am working on some animal sprites for a winter visual novel jam project. That's okay. Like again, the pose and like he's gonna be pretty small, and then the expression and just like general idea of like, yeah, this person is in armor versus this person's in a sweater. Like that's enough. The pose is very awkward. I might fix it. Oh, okay. Well, I know that at least when it comes to the centaurs, you're basically like, this is a centaur and I will draw it. Yeah. Because I know we had that conversation of just like, as long as I know it's supposed to be a centaur, I'll draw it as a centaur. Because I know horses be hard to draw. I mean, we can change the helmets. We have time. Yeah, that looks better. Yeah, well, I imagine that vast majority are probably not in full plate. Like they're probably in half plate. Oh, yeah, well we put way too much effort. I love all the awful horse 3D models that these webtoons use that they just import from like the Unity store or something like that. Like, oh my gosh, they're so bad. It makes me want to go hunt them all down and then do like a like make that a podcast episode or something. Let's just look at awful 3D models that are used in webtoons. Like I get it. Horses are fucking hard to draw. I get it. Like my like the creature artist that I look up to the most is like, if you can draw horses, you can draw anything. And it's like, yeah, if you can figure out horses, you've got it. That's yeah. Well, he's gonna be small. He's gonna be so small on the page, Courtney. It's fine. Somewhere back here is a sword. Yeah, they could. Like again, like a cape for knights is, like if you're not traveling and it's not for protection from weather, it's entirely just ornamental to identify you as, yeah, who you are, your allegiance or whatever. It looks like a thing in somewhere. Yeah, no, that looks reasonable. Yeah, well, and if we hate it, we can change it when it makes sense in the story for it to change. When Joel comes in and is like, "Your guys' armor sucks," because she certainly did do that in Gen 2. I do appreciate good backgrounds, though. Well, they would at least be made out of like wood boards, so they'd, yeah, there you go. Yeah, well, it's kind of wild how little background some of these webtoons can get away with, but then I remind myself, oh, well, a lot of their panels are just talking heads. And it's like, yeah, you don't need a background if it's all just talking heads. Yeah, well, it's either talking heads or fan service. There's some pretty like I know we looked at some pretty like wildly detailed webtoons a few years ago where it was like, "Oh my gosh, this person put in a lot of work and it's really pretty." Yeah. Well, except when we do redraw them. There's definitely some things where I'm like, probably gonna redraw that. Yeah, like we'll try to reuse as much of the old stuff as possible, but that just means that the first few chapters are going to be a little wonky just from the old art. That's okay. Doesn't matter. It's fine. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That'll be good enough for this one. Export punch. Export punch. Now, what am I supposed to be naming this? I'm supposed to be naming this one. Nar. Apparently. Oh no, no, no. That's narrator. Sorry. Fox G is what I'm supposed to be naming it. Um. We'll just do Fox G Fox. Okay. Okay, that's that one. Move on to the bear. Oh, that was wrong. Do it here. Okay, time to figure out the rest of the bears situation. That's okay. God, I need to look at some bear references. Hold on. Yeah, well, I was looking at how like other people draw cartoony bears, and the thing that everybody makes big is the nose. Okay, I think we're probably it's gonna be sitting. God, some of these bears sitting just are so chonky. Oh, I kind of like that one. Yeah, so I think I need to make the back of the neck more upright if I'm gonna do that. I'm just looking at. Hold on. Oh, nope, come back here. This pose is funny. Yeah. I don't think that'll work for the VN, but it is funny. It's a good bear pose. Jeez, they're so pear-shaped. Bears are just ridiculously pear-shaped. Okay. I think that's the problem, is my bear is not very pear-shaped. I think the shoulders are too broad. Okay, let's take this out because I think that's throwing me off. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, there we go. That's bear-shaped. We have found the bear shape. The bear shape exists now. I get to draw toe beans in this pose. Yay, toe beans! I haven't drawn any I haven't drawn any toe beans. Yeah. Maybe that's what I should do. Is I should be a furry artist specializing in Topians. Get the furries and the foot fetishes. Probably. Wouldn't hurt. Yeah, well, and it gives you something else to post on the socials as far as like, hey, look, we're getting back into it. Everything is content. Whether or not that's a good thing or not depends on who you are. We do it? Yeah. You know, bears tend to have like um a lot of loose hanging hair around their necks because like it's protection when they fight each other. No. Good night. That's great. Yeah. Terse faces. Just. I like how like her bangs and her ponytail kind of look like a cheapified like dragon horns with a tail coming out the back. No, it's funny though. this one panel. Oh. Hmm. That's good. Yes, it's very pink. But that is the color of the flowers I color picked from the picture. Man, so I was coloring something and I color picked from the reference that I was given by the person that I was drawing the thing for. Um and like I sent them, like the picture after it was done, and they were like, "Oh, well this piece is the wrong color." And I'm like, I color picked from the reference that you gave me, but okay, I can change it." That's fine. Okay. We have the technology. All right. Hmm.